and today we're going to learn about the secret power of waking up at 5 a.m. Now, let's begin. Number 1, practicing discipline. One of the hidden benefits of waking up at 5 a.m. actually comes from the consistent and conscious decisions that you have to make every morning to avoid regression or laziness. It's no secret that the majority of people don't wake up this early, and in fact, most won't even try because it forces you to throw away those easy yet wasteful hours at night in favor of the energetic, productive hours in the morning. In other words, by simply stepping out of bed at 5 a.m., you are overcoming an obstacle that most of the world will never come close to surpassing. That kind of accomplishment, as simple as it may seem, can have lasting effects on your ability to achieve in life if you're able to do it every single day. Why? Because the consistency of that difficult choice builds an all-important sense of discipline, allowing you to identify and adjust bad habits in a way that 99% of people will not understand. With discipline also comes confidence, decisiveness, and ultimately success. Number 2, happier in life. Believe it or not, by simply waking up at 5 a.m., you could not only lead a more peaceful life, but a significantly happier one. According to a study on the relationship between sleep schedules and mood, people who wake up earlier are much more likely to be satisfied and happy with who they are and how they've chosen to live their lives. Now, you might be thinking, of course they're happier in the mornings because they're morning people. Well, the truth is that this boost actually lasts all day, creating a noticeable gap in the general happiness of early risers and night owls. So why is this the case? Scientists aren't entirely sure, but there are a number of possible explanations. Some blame the fact that our work, school, and social schedules are geared more toward morning people than night people, leading to a delay in performance and attitude for people who wake up later. Others reference the amount of extra time that early risers have in the morning, meaning that they can work through their morning routine slowly and make time for positive, inspirational activities. Whatever the reason may be, the average early riser is happier. So why wait to change your sleep schedule and improve your life? Number 3, change your perspective. For many people looking to make changes to their lives, their usual routines are some of the biggest things holding them back because they are filled with things that hinder people's ability to succeed. Take a moment to honestly reflect on the amount of time you work on your goals or yourself each day, because so many people are so caught up in the next episode of a show or the next level of a game that they forget to use each day to improve something about themselves. And it can be extremely challenging to stop this forgetfulness from happening because we're so used to our usual routine that we don't realize it might be holding us back. So how does this relate to getting up earlier? Well, if you start waking up at 5 a.m., you're forcing yourself to break free from that destructive routine, giving you the opportunity to change your perspective on your own life. Suddenly, the world around you looks different. The amount of free time you have is different. Even your state of mind is different. So use these opportunities to begin discovering new things about yourself and your passions, which may slowly but surely send your life in a new direction. You might think I'm exaggerating, but there was a time when every artist or athlete, people who have dedicated their entire lives to something they love, had no idea what they wanted to do, until, of course, something changed their perspective. By forcing yourself to wake up early in the morning, you're opening up new doors to learn and grow. So now that you know some of the incredible benefits of waking up at 5 a.m., how do you make a lasting change to your sleep schedule without falling back into old habits? Well, let's explore 3 strategies designed to ensure that you get the most out of your mornings. Number 1, slow progression. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to transition from night owl to early riser is expecting their schedule to change in a single night. If you're used to going to bed at 2 or 3 in the morning, there is no way your body is going to be able to suddenly adjust to going to sleep at 9 p.m. Instead, you're going to sit up all night long tossing and turning because your brain isn't ready to release the proper neurotransmitters that let the rest of the body know it's time for bed. So, instead of confusing your body and brain, try slowly adjusting your schedule over time, moving your bedtime up by 15 or 30-minute increments to get your internal clock used to the new schedule. If your bedtime is only changing little by little, your brain won't be caught off guard, making it much easier for you to fall asleep on time and get a good night's rest. After a couple weeks, not only will you be able to consistently go to sleep and wake up earlier, but you'll have complete access to the many benefits of an adjusted sleep schedule. Number 2, leave your bed. How many times have you set your alarm for 5 a.m. only to wake up so exhausted that you convinced yourself that you need to go back to sleep? Everyone's done it at some point, because when we first wake up in the morning, our brains are too groggy to make sound decisions. No matter how motivated or ambitious you were the night before, a tired mind can throw a wrench in your plans because your brain struggles to prioritize your morning routine over that amazing dream you were just having. Once you've made that initial bad decision to hit your snooze button and sleep for just 10 more minutes, chances are you're going to do it again and again until 10 minutes turns into 2 hours. So, how do you avoid this common mistake? Well, if you're trying to begin regularly waking up at 5 a.m., you need to interrupt the harmful cycle by forcing yourself to stand up and do at least one thing before deciding whether or not it's a good idea to go back to bed. Whether it's going to the bathroom, splashing water on your face, or just walking out of the room. These small changes in scenery are often enough to wake up your brain and prevent that groggy rationalization. Once you've turned on the light and escaped from the comfort of your bed, you'd be surprised how much easier it is to set your priorities straight. Number 3, rewards and punishments. Another common and effective way to correct a poor sleep schedule is to take advantage of a psychologically proven strategy called positive reinforcement, a technique that many of us have used countless times without even realizing it. See, reinforcement is essentially the use of rewards or punishments to encourage or discourage an action, so that, over time, the individual is motivated to start or stop even when there is no reward or punishment. There are actually 4 types of reinforcement, but the 2 that are most relevant to this subject are positive and negative reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is when a reward is given to someone to increase the frequency of a specific behavior. For example, you give a dog a treat so that they'll sit down when you tell them to, or you tell a kid you'll get him ice cream if he's well behaved. Chances are everyone has been on the giving and receiving end of positive reinforcement at some point in their lives, so it should feel natural to create a similar reward system for your sleep schedule. In this case, you want to increase how often you wake up early, which can be a very difficult thing to accomplish without something good to nudge you in the right direction. In other words, when you're just starting out, don't be afraid to bribe yourself into waking up earlier. Lots of people use different types of breakfast, for example, to design their reward system, letting themselves eat something delicious when they get up early versus something bland when they sleep in. At the other end of the spectrum, we've got negative reinforcement, which is when something annoying or bad is removed in order to increase the frequency of a behavior. For example, if you've ever gotten really badly sunburned, you might have noticed that you remembered to put on sunscreen a lot more often. In this case, the sunburn is the negative stimulus that increases the behavior, which is putting on sunscreen. So how does this apply to adjusting your sleep schedule? Well, think about some of the negative effects of getting up late. You're in a rush, you might hit more traffic, or maybe you miss breakfast and end up hungry. You can use all of these negative outcomes to consistently motivate yourself to start waking up at 5 a.m. Thank you for watching Top Think, and be sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way.